Hello, and welcome to another episode of Wheel of Horror Halloween, the podcast where Joe and Alec are covering every one of the Hellraiser movies leading up to Halloween. And today we are covering 2011's Hellraiser Revelations, which was directed by Victor Garcia. I'm your co host, Alec, and joining me through almost the final layer of hell in these Hellraiser movies is the one and only Joe Testa. Welcome back, Joe.
We are almost there, Alec. Almost.
Yeah, dude. This one, I've heard this is notoriously considered the worst one. That's what I heard. Have you heard that?
Yes. I remember when this movie was coming out. So
Oh,
where are we
okay.
now? Around
11.
2011?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, 11.
So we're quite a ways removed from the last movie.
Yeah.
Um, and by this time, 2011, I feel like I was going to like checking in on certain movie websites every day, like just taking in all the movie news. And I remember when these set photos dropped, these photos of Pinhead, and among the people who cared, which at this point is not many, like it kind of broke the internet, and
Like Kim Kardashian's butt in
yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly. Um, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were years of hearing that like there was a new Hellraiser in production, but it was going to be a good one. It wasn't going to be one of these direct to video things that we've been watching these, past weeks.
Yeah.
They were going to finally get their act together, the Weinsteins, and put together a proper like reboot, and and then and then we got this apparently because yeah, it was some kind of last ditch effort to hold on to those rights because they were, I guess, about to expire.
That's what I've heard too. I heard that they like made this movie like inception to completion in 6 weeks. I don't know if
hmm
that's true,
I
but
mean, I just by looking at it, I think that's got to be accurate, right? You
it's
know,
yeah.
I when we did our Inferno episode, I said, Alec, we are entering a new, section of the labyrinth, the direct to video section, the direct to video era, and we're still there, but this is a whole different like this is a different ball game.
Dude.
This is not indie. Like this is student film,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
They're right. It's not indie. It
No.
literally does. It feels, you know what it felt like? A Hallmark movie. It felt
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
that. Like the acting, the way everything's overlit and just like very minimal
Yeah.
locations and like
Yep.
lack of extras and like
Mhm.
plot things that only make sense because the budget's low. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's like definitely the worst looking one, I feel like.
Oh my, by a mile.
Yeah.
I mean, by a mile. Like the other films that we've been watching lately, they were made by professionals.
Yeah.
Like I mean, well, I feel bad saying that because this director, he actually directed Return to House on Haunted Hill, which I kind of mentioned the movie yesterday,
Yeah.
reminded me of the direct-to-video House on Haunted Hill. It's
Yeah.
funny, he actually directed that as well.
Okay.
But, these people have been set up to fail.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was written by Gary Tunnicliffe, who he's the special effects man from Bloodline on.
Oh, okay.
And he also I like wrote and directed the short film that I sent you, No More Souls.
Oh, okay.
So, these people are fans. They've
Yeah.
been loyal to the franchise, at least Gary has. And you can tell there is they do attempt to, recapture some of the magic of those early movies. There is a cruel irony here that this is actually a Hellraiser movie,
I
meaning
know.
it's the first one since Bloodline that wasn't supposed to be something else. It's
Yeah.
actually a Hellraiser. We finally got a Hellraiser movie, and it's done with, absolute minimal effort. Minimal.
Well, it's desperation, it feels like. It's like a
Yeah.
last minute, like we gotta get something out, we gotta get something out. And they just like,
Mhm.
well, what was the first one that was popular? And they took
Yeah.
certain things from that. And you're right, like of everything, basically, since Bloodline on, this actually has Hellraiser things in it. Like it,
Mhm.
like some people need to die to come back, and the blood brings them back. And like there are tiny things they're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
this actually makes sense in the Hellraiser world? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. And I can see a lot of this working if it was given the time and the
yeah,
money and the craft.
yeah.
Like two, debaucherous kind of young guys going to Mexico looking for, extreme pleasures coming across the lament configuration. Like I could, and actually shooting it in Mexico or something that looks not just like a room that is supposed to be a bar, and they can't even put together a set that looks like a bar. Like
Dude, it
the,
looked like a
I
black box theater.
yeah,
Like,
it's horrible. Yep. I mean, there are elements here that I think would make a really good Hellraiser movie, but like I said, they're just set up to fail. Like nobody can make this work, you know?
yeah, because like the idea of those two debaucherous boys you're talking about, they die, and then the parents of the two boys have like a reunion dinner, and then
Hmm.
that night the thing comes back. Like
Hmm.
that felt like due to like budgetary restrictions. Like that felt like a
Hmm.
very unorganic thing to happen. Like why would they get together this one night? They all feel super awkward, and like
Yeah.
then the guy comes back that one night. Like
Hmm.
I don't know. And there was no reason for it. It felt
Yeah.
like, I don't know. So that felt like if this movie had more of a budget, like they could have made that make more sense.
Hmm.
Because you're right. Like on the very surface, there
Hmm.
is something good here.
If
Um,
if I explained like the plot of this movie to you,
yeah,
I think you would say, okay, like that sounds more like a Hellraiser movie than anything we've gotten in the past few days.
literally. Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
literally. Yeah, it's just the way that it's executed. You're right. I
Yeah.
mean, the dialogue's terrible, but the plot is actually not
Yeah.
that
The
bad.
the ideas. The
Yeah.
ideas are there. Yeah. I mean, it's all in the telling, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, it's all in the telling. And this is just, yeah. Like I said, I feel bad, you know, lacing into it uh, too heavily because I feel like a lot of these people, if you were an actor and you booked a role in the new Hellraiser movie, how psyched would you be?
Very, very,
Or
yeah.
Gary Tunnicliffe, finally kind of rising through the ranks, getting to write one. Like that's awesome.
Yeah.
But they got screwed. They got screwed. They didn't know. It's like I don't know if you know about the Fantastic Four movie that was done in like the early 90s. Um,
Yeah, and they just like
that
scrapped it. They never really
yeah,
released
nobody
it. Yeah.
knew they were making a movie that was not going to be released.
Yeah.
So everyone was putting their heart and soul, but people behind the scenes knew they had no intention of
That
releasing
should be
it.
like illegal.
Yeah, yeah, that's super shady, and
Yeah.
that's almost what this is. That's
Yeah. No, because like, dude, the guy that I don't even know his name, but the guy that takes over for Doug Bradley as Pinhead, I bet that guy was pumped. Like,
imagine.
yeah.
Hmm.
And a little nervous too, like obviously, but then his lines are horrible. The makeup's horrible. And like,
Yeah,
I don't it's not this guy's fault, but
right.
like, dude, he looks like if Pinhead like went on a bender. Like he
It's
looks like bloated. He doesn't look good, dude.
it's absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it is, and that isn't his voice.
I know.
Yeah, it's dubbed, which is strange.
Oh,
Like
oh, it's dope. That's oh, okay. I thought you were
it's
gonna say they didn't do anything to his voice. That's not even his
no, so,
voice.
so there's one actor
Oh,
doing, in the costume, and then there's another actor
yeah.
doing the voice.
The Darth
And,
Vader.
yeah, like I'm shocked. Like, did they just, as someone who works in casting, like you gotta you could have found someone, right? Like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
just a better face for this, a little more
Yeah.
like Doug Bradley anyway, and a better voice. I mean,
Yeah.
it just all went so wrong.
Okay, so one thing that I was like, all right, remember how I think it was in our Bloodline episode when I was talking about like maybe Pinhead is like a being that like different humans
Hmm.
kind of embody.
Hmm.
And it's
Yep.
like there's always going to be a Pinhead, right? Like,
Yes.
like a Santa Claus or whatever.
Hmm.
Maybe this is the new.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's like the mayor. He got voted in, but then Doug Bradley came back to finish out Bloodline later. Like they're like, bring back, what's his name?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Elliot
You,
Spencer.
right. You could definitely
I'm feeling better.
retcon it if it makes you feel better. Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, in reality,
Absolutely.
Doug Bradley's like, we have 3 weeks to do this, and
Right.
no.
Yeah.
You're
And
gonna pay me how much?
he was never even given a proper offer from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like I guess people associate, probably Gary Tunnicliffe like talked to him about it, but he never got an offer from Dimension. And, part of me is like, I mean, how shameless, the guy who has been there since the beginning, you know, uh, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad he's not in it because this is just so beneath him, I feel like, and it just makes this movie easier for me to kind of forget even exists. It makes it less official. It makes it kind of more of a fan film that
Yeah.
he's not here, so
That's what it feels like. I mean,
mhm. Yeah.
dude, yeah, when it first started, I really thought it was found footage. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is gonna be a found footage Hellraiser movie. And then obviously it's not, but yeah, dude, the tone of it's very, very strange. The acting is horrific. It's like very like the mom, the blonde woman, feels like she's not even there. Like she's just
Yeah.
like a shell of an actress. She's just like remembering her lines in her head and saying them. And then you got the fucking main guy with the long hair like
Hmm.
going crazy. So it just felt like nobody even knew what to type of tone the movie was going
Yeah.
for.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then obviously just the effects are really bad, but
I think if I'm gonna give out some compliments, I think the
yeah,
effects
sure.
are passable.
Which parts?
I think there are moments like this when they have their skin removed. I think it's
Yeah,
passable.
yeah.
Not the Cenobites,
Actually, when
but
her throat gets ripped,
yeah,
the
not
mom or
bad.
whatever. Yeah,
It's better than you would expect out of this movie.
yeah,
And I'm sure that's because of Tunnicliffe doing probably working overtime for no money, doing whatever he could because he still has some stuff left over from the other movies.
yeah.
So I think there are moments where it's like, oh, that looks better than this movie has any business, looking. But the early found footage moments are just absolutely painful because it just reeks of bad actor improv.
Yeah.
I'm sure this stuff wasn't scripted when these two kids are like going to Mexico and talking about getting laid and all this. It's just like, oh God.
Yeah.
But also what I noticed, I don't feel like there's any difference in in the footage from when it's found footage and when it's an actual movie. I think it's the same camera. Like it's not a switch from digital to film. Like I feel
Yeah.
like when it's found footage, it's just kind of shaky and they zoom in and out a lot. And when it's the movie, it's on a tripod. It's
I don't think you're wrong because when the first time it becomes the real movie or whatever, it's like panning
Mhm.
over the mom's shoulder and it's looking at her looking at the camera. I didn't know we weren't in found footage
Right.
anymore. You're right. So like
And
the quality remains the same. And I think the aspect ratio is the same, like everything. You're
yeah,
just like, oh no.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a real discussion going on at Dimension, like just make the whole thing found footage. How
Yeah.
Bob Weinstein was like, how much did Blair Witch cost? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
But
This would have been, I mean, it was rough watching in the beginning when it's found footage with Pinhead when he just comes out, he's
Mhm.
like, get out of here. And he's like, no.
Oh
And
my
it was
God.
like
Yeah,
just like going all over the place. And I was like, fuck, if this is the whole
yeah,
movie, oh my God. Because it has a
yeah.
0% Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, oh no,
Mhm.
like this can't be the whole movie.
Yeah.
Um, but luckily it's not. It is kind of a narrative, and it's a narrative. of the found footage too, which is even weirder. It's like we see the found footage of the boys, but then it shows the real movie of the boys doing the found footage that the
Hmm.
parents are then it's like it doesn't even make sense from like a technical film perspective, I guess. I can't think of another movie that's like that
Hmm.
where you're watching the found footage movie and then it goes into the found footage movie to show them making it. It's really weird.
Right.
Um, but yeah, it's just like gross, early, I guess 2010s, just kind of like really scumbag guys, just drunk, trying to get laid, obnoxious, like Tijuana, like all that crap. And
Hmm.
they meet a prostitute, and we think, I don't know, that we don't even know if she
Yeah.
actually is. Like, they think she is, like they say. And Nico, I think is his name, he kills this girl
Hmm.
for no reason. I mean, it's not like,
And we don't even see how or why or what. They're in a
no.
bathroom stall.
And her head is
Eh,
like smashed
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
toilet. So you're like, what the fuck happened in
Hmm.
here? And these characters are miserable and I hate them. So
Yeah.
it's not like you're like, I guess like, fuck it. I hope he dies. I don't even know. But another weird thing, even before we get to this, the way, way, way beginning, I love how Nico is shirtless and he's doing the box or whatever, and he's got like the candles around him. When did
Mhm.
he ever learn to do any of this? Like, why is he doing? Because he's just trying to emulate Frank from the first movie,
Right.
basically.
Right.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
when would he have known to? Why is his shirt off? Like, it was
Right.
just really weird, and obviously it's just for us to be like, oh, it's like Frank, but it doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do have this hobo character,
Oh yeah, yeah.
kind of like we had in the first movie, but I don't, there's no, I mean, that could have been something, they could have had a conversation, or do they?
Yeah, they
I don't
do.
remember.
They
They
talk in the
do.
bar. Yeah, he comes. He's
Right,
like
right.
the ultimate pleasure. He's like it's like eating a really sweet meal, but having a little bit of sour, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Right,
Well,
right.
and that made me think, when have the Cenobites ever done anything nice? It's all
Yeah.
about like pain and pleasure. It's like you've never jerked off anybody. It's always like whips and stuff. It's like nobody
Yeah.
ever gets any pleasure ever. Like you always talk about both, and like it's a dichotomy. You need both. It's like, well,
Yeah.
can we see
Yeah, yeah.
the part? I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, so this guy's talking about pain and pleasure in the bar with them, and he gives them the lament configuration.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But you're like,
I,
why?
yeah. I think my eyes were starting to glaze over a little bit
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point.
No, the lament configuration gets a fucking round, dude. It's in like
Hmm.
every continent, every it's all these different countries, Europe, Morocco, Mexico, LA, it's
Hmm.
Denver, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
No
Hmm.
explanation. We always thought it was kind of just the one. And it'd be kind of cool if we got a movie explaining that there was a cult or something like Dead or that cult made like 50 of them and they all got out or something, but no. Never find that out. Uh yeah. So the boys open the lament configuration and Nico, what happens to him? He dies, right?
Well, yeah, he dies, and then the other his buddy, whose name escapes me,
Steve, I think.
he takes a girl home, and he takes a girl back to his room in Mexico,
Yeah.
and Nico comes out of the mattress like Julia in
Yeah.
Hellbound,
Yeah,
remember?
yeah,
And
yeah.
so he's been he's escaped hell
Yeah.
essentially, and he needs bodies the way Frank did in the first movie. So what the hell's the main kid's name?
I think it's Steve, I think.
Steve. Okay,
Let me just let me
yeah,
make sure. But yeah, it's definitely Nico.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Steve Brand.
So Steve starts bringing him victims, but eventually one of the victims has a child, so Steve decides he can't do this
Oh
anymore
God, that
and
scene.
walks out.
Dude, they kill the baby. I'm like, you're just like, don't even do this. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Did, I
know.
mean, they didn't show anything, did they?
No, but like the baby's
It's
crying and
implied.
he like goes
Yeah,
out in
it's
the
implied.
hallway and you just hear like, and then like the
Okay.
baby's crying stops. You're like, oh my God.
Right, right. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, and the Steve guy is killing like women with the lament configuration, like bashing them over the head. And then
Hmm.
yeah, he's like, I can't do this anymore. I'm
Yeah.
going back to LA or whatever.
Right.
And then yeah, Nico's like, fine, I just want your skin anyways. And yeah, what does he say? He's like, I gave you the shirt off my back. He's like, I wanted more than the shirt off your back, and then takes his skin. And then a
So
year later,
that's kind of that is a twist.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We do get a twist in this movie, and I'm not so proud to admit the first time I watched this movie years ago,
Mm.
um, I thought to myself, okay,
Yeah,
that's a
it's a
little
different direction.
something. Like
Yep.
it took me by surprise, and in the misery of watching this movie,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that's you got me, movie. Night, well played.
Well, so that's like a decent twist. And then we kind of go back to the future, I guess like a year, I think. I don't
Hmm.
even know how long it's back. It's definitely been a period of time. And the mom is obsessed with watching this videotape of her son just being like a fucking scumbag.
Right.
And he's just like watching. She's just like, got the camera open, looking at it all the time. But for some reason, like hasn't shared it with the rest of her family.
Hmm.
And she's got a teenage daughter who is dating. It's the brother of Steve and was dating Nico. The girl's name
Right.
is Emma, I think.
Hmm.
And she doesn't know about like anything that's going on. She's like, my brother's gone, my boyfriend's gone, my mom's obsessed with this videotape, and my dad just like doesn't talk. And she's just like doesn't, I don't know, she doesn't really have much of a character. I guess she's supposed to be like promiscuous, but it's like, okay.
Hmm.
And then yeah, so they have this like big dinner get together like a year later after their sons have been missing or whatever. All the families get together and it is just like a fucking yeah, as you were saying, like a student film kind of like dinner scene.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's bad. And they basically just talk about how like why haven't we ever talked about this? Like I miss my brother, I miss my boyfriend. Why don't we ever talk about this? And then Steve comes back like out of
Hmm.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And you're like, why now? Like there wasn't, I don't think there was anything that set it off. I don't think.
Yeah.
He just
No.
randomly shows up again.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so he's there, he's all dazed though. He's got the long hair, he's dazed and everything like that. So how long has Nico been in him? Why is he acting
Hmm.
like this? Why doesn't he just kick the door in and be like, I'm gonna do everything I just said I was gonna, or I'm going to do in an hour or whatever, but he acts like all dazed and weird.
Yeah, and his plan, I might be fast forwarding a little bit. His plan is to summon Pinhead and make some kind of deal with him.
He feels like the Cenobites are chasing him, and yeah, he wants
Mhm.
to trade Emma's soul, his
Hmm.
girlfriend's soul,
Right.
for his.
Right.
And that ultimately doesn't work. But it is
Yeah.
a little weird because for some reason Pinhead has made deals in the past, like with
Hmm.
Kirsty and stuff, and you're
Yeah.
like, I guess
That's
why wouldn't he make a deal with this guy? But I don't know.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I never had a problem with that in the first movie.
No, no, me neither.
Um, but yeah, going back now a little bit, are we to believe that their cars disappeared? Did Pinhead make their cars disappear? Did you catch that?
Yeah, no, I
And
wasn't sure what the fuck happened.
yeah, yeah, their cars disappeared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Pinhead apparently has powers we don't know about. And I believe he also affected their cell phone reception. I
Yeah,
think
because
there's
it's
a
2011, so they definitely have cell phones.
yeah,
And
yeah. I think there is a drop line about how their cell phones don't work.
yep,
So anyway, there's that.
that was kind of what I was talking about earlier, where it's like the
Mhm.
budget had to dictate how you would restrict them from getting out of there. They're like
Right.
the cell phones are broken for no reason,
Hmm.
and your cars are gone for no reason.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
Hmm.
okay. Um, so yeah, then they're talking to the Steve guy outside, and it's like, where have you been? And he's like far away. The Cenobites are coming. And he's like, what do they want? It's like, they want all of us, or like whatever. He's just like stupid. So they're like, okay, let's put him to bed. And it's like, Mom, can you make him some soup right now? I feel like soup is what he needs. So this scene is like so weird. And I don't know why they included it, but when Emma goes up to like check on her brother after she like reads
Hmm.
about the Cenobites and is like, what's going on? And she goes upstairs and they talk for a while. And then he's like, I'm all done with the soup. Do you want to share some? And she's like, okay. And like drinks it.
Yeah.
I was like, ew. And then she kisses him. They start
Right.
making out. And it's like, obviously, we don't, the audience doesn't know what's going on yet.
Right.
Steve knows what's going on. Like the boy knows what's going on, but she doesn't. She
Right.
thinks she's just
So
making out with her brother right now.
exactly. So Nico is wearing Steve's skin.
Yeah,
He's making out with his girlfriend, but as far as she knows, she's making out with her brother.
right.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. You know,
Why?
I'm sure, like Clive Barker stuff, and actually, I want to talk about Clive Barker in a second.
Yeah.
Clive Barker's stuff goes in weird, twisted sexual directions. Now, I don't want to compare this movie to his stuff, but I'm sure maybe in the writing process they thought they were being bold or edgy with this.
Sure, sure,
But
sure.
yeah, it's just weird and kind of lame. But so, this reminds me of when this movie was coming out, Clive Barker tweeted about it.
Yeah.
And I wrote down, this isn't an exact quote, but he said something along these lines. If they claim Hellraiser Revelations is from my mind, it's a lie. It's not even from my butthole.
Yeah, I did read that
That's
too. That's so
that's what
funny.
Clive Barker thinks. You were right though. I think he was semi-involved in the last few movies, just as kind of consultant or to give notes. I think they screened some of the movies. So he has been a bit involved, but had absolutely no involvement in this movie, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably try and get far away from this as I could as possible too.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, Doug Bradley dodged the bullet. I'm glad they didn't make it work.
Dude, they've been doing them wrong in all of them. I mean, I
Hmm.
mean, since like the fourth one, they've kind of just been like,
Yeah.
hello, I don't know what to do with them, but people want to see them, so
I mean, I saw a pretty interesting interview with him where he was like, they flew me from London to LA or wherever they were shooting these movies first class, and I felt like as soon as I got there, they wanted to get rid of me, which is so strange, you know? I mean, maybe
yeah.
just having him there, I don't know if he was getting, a rate or flat fee. I don't know how that worked, but
Yeah.
maybe having him having the makeup, they just tried to keep that to an absolute minimum, you know?
It's sad. I mean, I don't know. Any work is good work, I guess, but at some point, it's like
Yeah,
you can only kind of do a guy wrong so many times for him to just be like, I'm gonna read this script. The script is so bad. I know how you treat me. I know how these movies turn out. Like, I don't even
yeah,
fucking care. You're paying me so little. Like, I don't care.
no.
Um, so it is what it is. I still I think the new-ish or the newest Pinhead was better than this guy. The one
Oh,
in
without
the Hulu one.
not to be mean, you'd be hard pressed to make a worse Pinhead than this. I mean,
Mm,
like it's that bad. It's
yeah.
you can go to any fan convention, any horror convention, and probably find 10, you know, Pinhead Pinhead's better than
Yeah,
this.
seriously, like
I mean,
genuinely.
it's just like, yeah, I don't know how it went so wrong. And it's not just the casting, the performance, which is two people.
I know.
Like something in Doug Bradley talked about in that same interview was like the one note he would get from Clive Barker,
Mm,
do less,
yeah.
do less, like, and you could see that there's just something like so kind of stoic
Hmm.
about, especially in that first movie, but he continued it throughout. And this guy's just playing it to the hilt. He's just hamming it up.
Yeah, it's bad. And all the other ones, the other Cenobites, I can barely even remember what they look like. I mean, um,
Yeah.
and the dialogue too, when they get to the scene where Steve turns and he's like, "Actually, I'm actually Nico," and he has the
Hmm.
shotgun or whatever. I just I hated it. I hated the dialogue. It just felt like dirty to be dirty for like no
Hmm.
reason and stuff like that. They added in like an affair for no reason too, which goes nowhere. And I guess they say like the reason why me and Nico and Steve or whatever we left is because you two were having an affair. And it's
Right.
like, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So that's what kicked off
Hmm.
the whole movie, I guess, but it doesn't really matter. He
No.
shoots the dad. So the dad's got
Hmm.
like a gaping chest wound from like a shotgun bullet, and he survives the rest of the movie just like, oh, like fuck. And then this guy just kind of walks around like it's like funny games or whatever, and is
Yeah,
just like
I thought
tormenting
of
these people.
I thought of Funny Games too.
Yeah,
Yes, a student film version of Funny Games.
just being like the acting was very over the top. The
Hmm.
dialogue was terrible. It was very dirty for like no reason.
Hmm.
And they just summoned the demons or the Cenobites
Yeah.
again.
Hmm.
Well, what did I miss when the the other guy goes out to like the cars are gone and then the homeless guy comes up and then shoots that guy and then just leaves?
I don't remember that going anywhere.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he went outside and the homeless guy was there who gave
Yeah.
the sons the box, and then
Right.
he shoots that guy. And
Mm.
then I think that I I just saw this
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
I'm
not even
pretty
24
sure
hours ago for
I'm
me.
pretty sure that they just like forgot about it. They're like, all right, now that homeless guy ran away and that guy's dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Mhm.
So yeah, so then we get to the final act of
I'm trying to think of the Cenobites. There's like a female chatterer,
oh,
and I
that
think it's a woman just wearing the mask that Henry Cavill wore in yesterday's movie.
yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Well, it's that guy, but then there's also Mini Me Pinhead.
Oh, yes. Well,
Who the fuck?
I mean, no, that's kind of a, I mean, we're grading on a curve here. It's kind of a cool twist. That is Steven.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
So,
mean, he is being turned into like a new
yeah.
Pinhead.
Why is
I
he
mean,
Pinhead though?
yeah, I don't know why he's
Yeah,
Pinhead.
that's what I mean.
Um,
Why can they can't think of anything else? Or like, just I don't know, make him Pinhead again
yeah, I
with
mean, we
with the
got some
extra
extra.
pins we have. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We have it left over, so you know. Um,
Oh God.
or maybe going with your theory that there are different pinheads throughout time, you
Maybe
know.
he's like the Padawan Pinhead. He's
Uh,
being trained up to be the Jedi.
exactly.
And this scene, well, another weird thing, I mean, and it leads into the final scene, but it's like the whole movie is like, are the Cenobites in lament configuration like listening to everything? Because it seems like they're in a
That's
room, like within the room.
that's the way this movie, yeah, it makes it presents itself. In the book, The Hellbound Heart, it's really interesting, and it's not something they did in the movie, but it's almost like when Frank gets taken away to hell in the beginning,
Yeah,
he it's almost like he's behind one-way glass where he can see. Part of being in hell is kind of like being able to see, still being able to see the outside world.
right.
Um, and I don't know if they were going for something like that, but yeah, Pinhead does seem to be kind of present. Um, when I guess if the box is nearby,
Yeah, he's like,
he's
it seems like they're
listening.
hearing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then he gets Emma to open the box. Steve, he's like, all right, you open the box. He's got a gun, and she does because anybody can open it just by touching it for long enough. And they get sucked into the same room, and I guess into the box, I guess. I don't really know.
Hmm.
And that's like it. Like they just kill everybody. I
Yeah,
feel like
the
the
father shoots
yeah,
Steven or Nico in Steven's skin.
yeah, he's like
He
nobody's gonna
shoots.
kill you but
Yeah.
me, you fucker,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like the mom got done dirty. The blonde
Yeah.
mom, she didn't
Yeah.
do anything, and they're like
Right.
torment her in eternity forever, and like pull
Yeah.
her away. And then Emma, they're like, she's gonna be back. Like
Right.
she's a bad girl. She kissed her brother. She'll be back. And they just let her go.
Yeah.
And also the dad, they're like, you can go too, because like you're gonna die anyways. It's like you don't want his
Hmm.
soul? What the fuck? Like you're mad about him killing that guy and taking the soul. You don't want
Hmm.
his?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really stupid why they just killed certain people and other people. And then Emma comes back to the house and then immediately touches the box again,
Hmm.
and then the movie's over.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I think just over like 70 minutes.
It felt longer than
Oh
that.
my God. Yeah.
Yeah, holy crap. This one was really bad.
Hmm.
Truly the only thing is, yeah, the semblance of there being a remote connection to the original idea and like trying to bring it back. That's like the only thing I could think of that's remotely good. Uh,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
mu the
Like I
music.
said, cruel irony that, yeah, we finally get something that resembles a Hellraiser movie, and it's the most abysmal thing you could imagine. you know. And
Dang.
if I'm going to be kind, I do think there are some passable gore effects, you know. But other than that, there's really nothing to compare this to in kind of mainstream franchise horror. Like I really I'm trying to think, like it's been a while since I've watched, you know, the Children of the Corn movies.
Oh
Those
yeah.
That's another long running Dimension series that they were pumping out for largely the same reason, you know, just to kind of
Mm,
hoard that franchise. I'm I don't know that series as well as this one, but even that one, uh, which has always been a second-rate franchise,
mm.
third-rate franchise, even that one I feel like doesn't doesn't get as bad as this.
Maybe
So
Puppet Master?
yeah, but Puppet Master, you know, maybe I haven't seen some of the later Puppet Master movies. You might be right,
I don't know.
but
I'm
like
guessing. Yeah.
the thing with this is like Hellraiser was like, you know, an iconic couple of films.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's the thing that hurts. Like,
yeah,
if anything, it was more sophisticated than all of its, you know, brethren. You know,
yeah,
it wasn't a teen series. It was very adult, you know. So the fact that we started there and
yeah,
end up here, it just makes it all the more kind of painful. And
yeah,
you know, and as much as, and look, I'm not a fan of the newest Hellraiser movie, but obviously it is a massive upgrade from this.
yeah.
But I wonder, honestly, like the years of just kind of pumping this crap out from Dimension Films, if that has almost a subliminal kind of effect on us that just Hellraiser is kind of tarnished in a way. Like when you think
Mm.
like Hellraiser still hasn't been to movie theaters since Bloodline,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know.
I mean, it's the business has changed so much, like so it's not that may be an unfair comparison, but I wonder like with things like Children of the Corn, which also, you know, is in direct to streaming hell to this day.
Oh yeah,
You know, even The Crow, like the Crow had a theatrical release, but it never kind of returned to its former glory. I don't know. It just sucks how they ran these franchises into the ground, and to me, they never really recovered.
well, the only thing I can think of that's in not in any way tonally comparative, but the year they came out and both being horror icons is Child's Play and the way that's been handled. Because
Hmm.
like they both came out in '88, they both became that late '80s horror icons, even though the Child's Play is very much, not like Hellraiser, but
Yeah.
those seven movies kind of like went up, down, up
Hmm.
again, and now the Chucky TV show did pretty well for a few years. So
Yeah.
like it feels like there's a chance for Hellraiser,
Yeah.
maybe, but
You're right. There's
up until
always
this
a
point,
chance. You know, you're always just a movie away, you know.
yeah, they could do one like a
And
Halloween maybe. Who knows?
yeah, that absolutely. Yeah, and the Chucky movies have always had is it Don Mancini?
Don Mancini, yeah,
You know, he I think he's been there since the beginning and
all of them,
obviously loves the franchise, so that's great.
yeah,
You know, I just feel like almost is it something even subliminal like
yeah,
that did they just kind of tarnish this and there's just no coming back from it. Like maybe um these franchises like Hellraiser could have attracted even better talent, but because of what the Weinsteins did to this franchise, maybe they're just afraid to even touch it. They don't want to touch it. You know, it's it's you know, it's not something. It's just something I've thought about.
I think you're right. I
You
think
know,
that most people, including myself, have always thought like, I've heard they're pretty bad. And like
yeah.
then you watch them and you're like, yeah, they're pretty bad. And like
And I think, you know, for some of those movies like Inferno, I feel
yeah.
like they're probably not as bad as you think.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this is worse than you probably could imagine. You
Right,
know,
right.
you know, this is why I kind of wanted to do this franchise
Oh
because,
yeah.
you know, it's interesting. It's really interesting to see this progression, you know?
Big time, dude. Like Bloodlines is the Godfather as far as I'm concerned now. Like once you've
Yeah,
seen these, you're
exactly.
like, dude, Bloodlines is sick.
I
But if I
almost like
only saw Bloodlines, I'd be like, eh. But now I'm like Bloodlines.
I almost think like if it ended at Bloodline and then we didn't get another
Yeah,
Pinhead movie for 30 years,
yeah,
like would Guillermo del Toro
yeah,
be interested?
100%.
But like probably not just because this the reputation is such dog shit. But then again, people love that Hulu. I mean, some people love that Hulu movie. And maybe I should give it another shot. But
I don't remember it, so yeah,
yeah,
I don't
that's the
know.
thing too. It just, it kind of just left my brain.
Well, at least it was done professionally, you know. You
Exactly.
can't take that
Yeah.
away.
Hmm.
Well, I don't know. That's all I got on this guy. You any last minute thoughts?
No, God help me. One more trip to hell, and then hopefully salvation.
Yeah, they need to make that. That's a good title. Hellraiser Salvation. What the fuck?
Yeah, I
That
mean,
would,
it should be said we are getting a Hellraiser video game,
yeah.
um,
Revival.
Hellraiser Revival.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No,
cool. Yeah,
I'm
so
pumped for that.
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the brand is in much better shape than I'm giving it credit for. And maybe Pinhead is a stronger. He's a horror icon, so he could always be reinvented.
Well, especially with video games and maybe
Hmm.
AI, maybe he'll give his likeness to have it be, CGI'd into movies and have it be like seamless in like 10 years and people be like, damn, that looks, I mean, that might be what they have to do with Freddy Krueger, dude. It might have
Yeah.
to come down to
Hmm.
like insane body motion capture or something like that. And people are just like, fuck it. Like
Yeah.
it's Robert England forever.
And let me tell you, I was going to bring this up tomorrow because I didn't want this series to end on such a downer, not giving away my thoughts on tomorrow's movie.
Yeah.
But the Hellraiser comics
You're
are
right.
awesome. They are
Yeah.
fantastic. So there's an old series from the 80s and early 90s, 20 graphic novels, original stories. This box, like you said, gets around, and they're amazing. Just
Oh.
beautifully
Are
illustrated.
they
And
Clive Barker or anything or?
Clive Barker was like the creative consultant on all of
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Why didn't they make
there's
those in
that
the movies?
series.
What the
I'm
fuck?
telling you, it's heartbreaking to read these. And yes, I have been reading these in between watching these movies. There's that, and then there is a series from 2011, a comic series. Boom Studios made it, and it is essentially a sequel to Hellbound with Kirsty and
Oh.
her confronting Pinhead. And let me tell you, it's awesome.
What the
It's
fuck?
awesome.
What
I
the
know it.
fuck?
I
You
know
said
it.
that came out in what? What year was the second one?
2011.
So this the year this movie came out.
Hmm.
So they're making good Oh God, they're so
Yeah.
dumb. They should have just
Yep.
paid the writer or something of that
I'm
comic
telling
and be like, can we make
even if you just like go read the synopsis of the story, it's so cool.
the
It's so cool.
Wikipedia
So
of that
yeah,
is
yeah.
better
I
than
mean,
this movie?
absolutely. Do that. If you're listening to this, do that. Forget this movie.
Oh God. All right, yeah. Now the comics, video games, they're still going strong. Well, I don't know about the
Hmm.
comics still going strong, but the video game is.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And look, I haven't seen Judgment in quite a few years. It's not an irredeemable like piece of shit. Um, so I'll leave it at that.
I'm excited. I haven't seen
Okay.
that one either. So we'll see how it goes. But
Yeah.
well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us today for our discussion on Hellraiser Revelations, and we will see you tomorrow for Hellraiser Judgment.